The all-in-one bundle consists of 3 different models that are covered by 2 different transit agencies, such as Pace and CTA. All 3 will be discussed very shortly. Let's get into it, shall we? In 1987, Pace Suburban Bus needed new, much more reliable buses than the current roster of the GMC Fishbowls and the 1979 Grumman's that were originally operated by Regional Transportation Authority, now Pace. The 1988 Orion 9 models were numbered from 8700 to 8799. 1989 models were numbered from 8800 to 8872, and 1990 models were numbered from 8873 to 8923. In addition to that, I will note that 89, the last number to be numbered in 13 was 8713 from a fire that happened in the mid-90s. I don't know the actual date. These buses were equipped with a Detroit Diesel 6-speed 92 and an Allison HTB 748. These particular buses are identical to this. Throughout 1988 and well into 2001, these particular models stayed at a couple of well-known garages: South, Northwest, West, and in some cases, for 8734 to 8738, Vancom Viet / Hodgkins, basically working Route 757 at the time. Most of the assigned to garages afterwards were specifically Northwest. Now, if you're one of those guys who love the Allison HTB 748s like I do, you definitely know when it hits that high note, it's game over at that point. Not to sound weird or nothing, but that's just the way I feel about it. Subsequently, in the fall of 1999, Pace Suburban Bus awarded the contract to Orion to make new buses for Pace Suburban Bus and to be replacing the existing 1988 Orion Ice series, which means all 8700 series were basically being replaced by Orion VI series, which is also the 6000 series. All were retired in March of 2002. And not to forget that the 2400 series, and as well as the newer Nabi series, which were 6168 after that, replaced the 8700 series at that point. Now, sometime in 2002, private transportation out of New York specifically had a handful of Pace buses that they have acquired from Pace Suburban Bus. These numbers will be 8782, 8746, 8795, 8737, 8705, 8700, and last but not least, 8847 and 8848. All these buses would be presumed scrapped by 2005. However, 8723 is the last remaining Orion 9 still around today. In 2003, the Chicagoland Historical Bus Museum owned this bus from 2003 to 2012 when they went under. Then in 2016, Illinois Railway Museum, or IRM, specifically owned it. However, today, it is privately owned by some private owner, and apparently Chi-Town Buses specifically has a lot of videos of 8723. And I will say, it looks damn good for its age. This particular bus has a special place in my heart. Always be my favorite model for 22 and 2300 series buses. We'll go on to the next particular in this time frame, the 8700 series buses destination board sign was relatively flushed, while the 22 and 2300 series buses were not flushed at all. In fact, it was like scooped up in the air like it had like a little mohawk haircut. These buses were also equipped with a Detroit Diesel 6V92 and an Allison HTB 748. These particular buses sound identical to this. These buses were numbered from 2272 to 2378. 2378 was a replacement for 8800, which was in a fire in sometime in the 1990s. Both the 1987, the 1992,
now, of course,
93 models
the
also
majority
had a
of the
stop request
2200
sign
series
that will
buses
light up
during this
anytime
time
you press
frame
the
from
button.
1993
It wouldn't look like what
all
you
the way
would
up
see
until
now.
2008 mainly wound up at River and North, while the rest of the 2300 series in general mainly wound up at River and South.
History.
Retirement of the 22 and 2300 series buses started in 2006 and wasn't completed until sometime in 2013. After the arrivals of the Eldorado EZ Riders, correct me if I'm wrong, after 2742, the most, if not all, of the Orion I series were basically retired at that point. Of course, during this time frame, these buses would still be in operation. So this could be noted. 1990 Orion I models were numbered from 8901 to 8923, which was scattered numbers. Basically, the strongest would be in operation, while 2272, 2273, 2287, 2288, 2300, 2302, 2318, 2330, and 2375 would all still be in operation. In the next few seconds, you will see a lineup of all these particular buses in the Posen facility. These buses in general were overall decent. I couldn't give them a grade because I still had yet to identify the certain issues with them. But aside from the hideous look that the destination board gave them, they were great overall, a 7 out of 10. Here's the next
New buses are rolling out onto city streets. The Chicago Transit Authority and Mayor Daley's office showed off the latest fleet at a Southside bus garage today. The new buses cost $250,000 each. They come with air conditioning, security cameras, retractable wheelchair ramps, and vandal-resistant windows. Mayor Daley says updating the CTA is vital to Chicago's economic health.
Without the CTA, the traffic congestion would be unbearably worse. Downtown Chicago would lose its character and excitement. Students and people of modest means would find it almost impossible to get to school or work.
The CTA is putting 309 new buses on the streets next year and another 160 by the end of the year 2002.
For some apparent reason, these buses look very good coming down the street. I don't know why. It's something about them that catches my attention the most. In addition to that, the 6400 series were numbered from 6400 to 6883, in total 484 units, with the engine specification of a Cummins ISC, with the transmission type of a ZF 5HP 552C. These buses sounded similar to this. Just like the rest of the models on the CTA's roster at the time, the particular 6400 series model buses were also scattered as well, and they were not in alphabetical order. One can argue that, and they can win an argument just like that. However, you must look at the photos, you must look at the actual photos and the actual roster, or the bus garage assignments, to have a better idea of what you're looking at and how to identify when the bus first went into service. With this being said, we'll take a look at the page right now, shall we? Starting from 6400 to 6633, they were mainly split between 77th, Archer, and Chicago Garage from 12/5/2000 to 6/20 of 2001. From that point on until 6883 wasn't delivered until 2002. And by June 25th of 2006, the entire series was delivered to all the garages.
The system on the bus announces the next stop.
The new buses also have a state-of-the-art kneeling system and ramp. Here's how it works.
Turning the power on, kneeling the bus, deploying the ramp, stow the ramp, raise the bus back up.
However, these buses will become the backbone of CTA for 14 years, until sometime in January 2014, when 7900 came out of the woodworks and were specifically assigned to the 77th Street Garage, also well known to me as the Privileged Garage. With this being said, as the 7900 series took its first run on the number 79 that same day, it was also proven that the CTA wanted more of these guys. And sure enough, as a result, most of the older 6400 series buses were starting to be retired. Such as 6400, for example. 6400 was in service on December 6th of 2000 on the number 3. It was supposed to become a trainer for Olive Harvey College, but soon got retired to South Shop's week of 4/3/2015, and unfortunately, that bus was scrapped by Sims Metal on October 28th of 2015. This could relatively be true for all the other buses as well, as all of them went to Sims for scrapping, all the way up until present day 2022. We fast forward to August 2022, as the 6400 series legendary run with the CTA after 20 to 21 years of service is coming to a close. There's only a handful of these 6400 series buses being in service, as the newer, more modern generation Nova LFS buses become very common and dominate the streets. This can especially be true for 8098, which runs the 49 western routes, and as well as the new kid on the block, 8384, out of Forest Glen, which serves 80 Irvin Park. And there you have it. So I hope you guys definitely enjoyed this review, because I definitely enjoyed making this particular video. I do want to apologize for the videos being pretty long, considering the fact that there are some unusual spots, quiet spots in some of the reviews. But I definitely try to do my best to make sure that these videos are relevant and don't last too long like this one is. And the errors that I make on these videos especially is important to me, so if you see them, let me know. G to our World Fan 1995, signing off.